Welcome to this week's Whole Week Costa. Tonight we have a local beer from Mount Holly. It's like 20 minutes away from my house, probably 25 from the place I'm moving to.
The new studio.
Yeah, we have a SpellBound, which is out of Mount Holly. SpellBound Brewing Peach IPA.
We should find a sponsor for the new studio, though.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, that's probably what we need.
Yeah. So in Mount Holly, they have two breweries. So I've never been to the Spellbound one, even though I've driven past it. But the other one is I can't think of it. It doesn't matter. But you're not allowed to buy the beer directly.
Yeah, so I thought it was interesting. So I was looking up beer facts, and I'm on the Spellbound Brewing website. And the first thing is, do you have tours? And the answer, which I didn't know this was a thing, because I've never been on a brewery tour. Says, as a matter of fact, we are mandated by the New Jersey Alcoholic Beverage Control to give a tour/educate before you can be served a beer. They also just, FYI, don't have scheduled tours, but you can come in any time and they'll give you a tour. And you can bring your own food there, and you can order food to there.
Yeah. Village Idiot. It's called Village Idiot. It's like their competitor, and you're not allowed to buy beer directly.
We're like old timey. You got Spellbound and Village Idiot. I think those are like real sort of old timey things.
You buy tokens, then you're allowed to trade the tokens for the beer.
But it sounds like if they just educated you about beer, then they could sell you the beer.
Yeah, you don't have to take a brewery tour there because you could just look in the back and you could see all the stuff. Like, they'll give you a tour right there.
Yeah.
So for my graduation party, I wanted it on a Sunday, and we were going to go to Village Idiot.
Yeah.
But so many people complained that, it's a Sunday night. And I'm like, all right, whatever.
They didn't appreciate the token economy?
No, they didn't appreciate. They didn't want. Excuse me. They didn't want. They didn't want me to go. They didn't want to go out on a Sunday night. They're like, we have work. And I'm like, yeah, but it's over at 9.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like going out. It's not like it's not like you're bar hopping for 4 hours. You're going on a brewery tour.
Yeah.
I feel like that's. I mean, so at Spellbound Brewery, you can actually bring kids and well-behaved pets. Yeah. So it's not like you're having a wild time getting super drunk there. You're just drinking beer.
Look at the label. Did you notice that the label's just it's a label around a generic can?
Oh, no, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, you see that?
I like the description, so I don't know what these things necessarily are. But I like that it basically describes the beer in pretty good detail. So if you were like a real beer aficionado, like we said we would become a year ago we were doing this segment, it describes, like, it has the IBUs, it has the SRMs.
Do you see on the back? It has like a little graph. It says like multi, hoppy, pale, dark, awesome, awesomer.
So it's
off the charts.
It's off the charts. Awesomer, yeah. It's real hoppy, real pale, unmeasurably awesomer.
Yeah. So, change the subject. I normally, well, except for this weekend, every day. But on Mondays when I get back from training, I don't know why I do this. I ruin all my training. I drink beer at night.
Yeah.
And there's this place up the street, Scotto's Pizza.
Yeah.
And they have these strombolis. Pepperoni cheese strombolis are the best stromboli there is.
Is that the place we went before one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The price of the stromboli changes every single time.
It just depends how good it is that
day. It's just good.
If it's off the charts awesomer, then it's more expensive.
Oh, so that was good. Then I went to this place in Camden to get these like cheese rolls. My Spanish is not good, but I got through it. I got 2 bacon, egg, and cheeses, one for me and Carmen.
Yeah.
And we got 2 rolls, and then we got the tres leche cake.
All 3 milks.
Yeah. And
I gotta think Carmen's got to speak Spanish.
He knows curses, but anyway. Yeah. So I got through it, and we both ordered and everything, and like I ordered, and like we got 2 totally. I got 2 breakfast sandwiches, grande cafe y leche, and then I got I don't know how to say sugar.
Yeah.
So they just put sugar in it anyway. I said sugar, and the guy gave me a dirty look, and I was like, sugar. I did like the sprinkle thing. He's like, oh, okay.
Guy's like, fucking gringo. They put cocaine in there.
Yeah. But hopefully, it was Colombian Bakery, so
okay,
probably. Yeah, and so Carmen got like 2 little rolls, a piece of cake, and a coffee. It was $7.50. I got 2 breakfast sandwiches, 2 rolls, and a coffee. It was $7.50. Yeah. I'm pretty sure anything you order there is $7.50.
So wait, so you started the story being like, I usually eat really healthy, except for this time I ate 2 breakfast sandwiches and a roll.
I said no. Actually, I ate a roll and a breakfast sandwich. And Carmen got a roll and a breakfast sandwich, and then he
I
ate
gotcha.
cake, and that was terrible.
Um,
Yeah, no, I'm saying except for this weekend
Yeah.
and Monday. But the point of that is like I go get a stromboli
yeah.
after working out on Mondays because it's like my treat to myself from
Yeah.
working out.
Nah, the thing always, I don't know. I was real mad yesterday because I don't know. I feel like, and I've said this before that like I feel, I always make the joke like, I take the gym really serious, but don't take like my diet really that seriously.
Who does?
This guy.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not a good.
Oh no, I don't either. I
It's
just
not a good
told
food
you
person.
I ate a stromboli.
Yeah, but like the last week, it's been like especially bad. Like I don't know. I just felt bloated the whole week, and then yesterday, so I worked my second job for like 8 hours. Had a short day there, and then
I didn't work on Saturday.
I know it's crazy. That's the first time in like a couple months I think for you.
Yeah.
And then I got home, we ate dinner, and then I was okay. I'm like about to go to the gym, and then the fucking ice cream truck goes by, and there's just something about like I don't know because it's like such a limited thing. Like it's there for like 5 minutes. Like you have to choose yes or no. So I feel like if it's all feasible, we usually choose yes. Just I don't know. They just really get you with the supply and demand. Like
Well-
like it's not like you can get it anytime you want during the day. It's right now or never.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: if you want to feel good about it, you can run the truck down to Aramingo.
True.
Like, no, just don't stop till Aramingo.
Yeah. And then I ate that, and then I felt real bloated, and then I took a nap, and then I went to the gym eventually, but it was like 2 hours later, and like an ice cream cone and a half after, like later than I wanted. So it didn't really work out, but that's sort of leads me to one of the topics I want to talk about though, which was sort of motivation to like go to the gym and train and all that stuff. I was watching the one dude I follow on YouTube. So he's like I think he's like in his like mid to late 40s now, but he like looks like he's like 20. Like he looks awesome. And he was talking about sort of what his motivations are. Like basically the point of this one video was, you're never, like you can like the idea of going to the gym, you can like the idea of dieting, or like eating well. I guess dieting is kind of always a bad way to look at it, but like eating properly. But it's nothing you're ever going to stick to until you get down to the root cause of like why you want to do this stuff.
It's like, yeah, like just to back up real quick, it's sort of like hold on, I got to burp.
All podcasts
On the chart on the chart on the chart it doesn't say real burpy.
Yeah.
But anyway,
wait. Before you say what, JD was over for dinner we were hanging out for a while on Friday. We ate dinner, watched a movie, and then but like it was real loud burp during dinner. And I was like, goddamn, this is the whole podcast. When we're drinking beer, the whole podcast, burp every minute.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But so what was I saying?
oh shit. I was talking about the motivation for going to the gym, about how you have to have
Now I lost it. I'll get back to it.
Yeah, sorry. So the yeah, so anyway, so so that's what they were talking about. And he was talking to sort of his like, guy that does the videos with him, who was like a real scrawny guy who like built some muscle.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Diet. Like people are like, I got a diet, and it's like, you have to define what you mean by diet usually, because it's like people are like, oh no, diet's such a bad word, but it's like you have to change your diet. Like you're literally changing what you eat. Like like they always say, it's a lifestyle until you change that. Because when you're losing weight or getting in shape, diet is 80% of it.
Yeah, exactly. And that and again, that was this guy's thing, was like you have to figure out why you want to do that for it to really stick and work.
And diets aren't like, there's like, everyone's like, oh, I'll try this crash diet, I'll try this diet, I'll try fasting, I'll try keto, I'll try this.
Yeah.
It's really like it really is like 80% of the meals you eat vegetables and salads, healthy fats, proteins. You stay like, like you have like good carbs.
Yeah.
Fruits, vegetables, not like sugar or soda and all that shit. And like you stay within like, a certain calorie range. Like that is basically a good diet.
Yeah, well, that and like anything you can stick with is like, again, going back to so it's Athlete X is the guy that I'm talking about, but that's his thing always. Like, sometimes they'll, do videos like, somebody asked me to evaluate like this diet or whatever, and he's like, it doesn't matter. Like you eat whatever you want. You just have to like, is like, are you going to still eat this way 10 years from now? Like, that's what you have to look at if you're thinking of like a certain way to change your diet. Like, can you sustain this for
Hell
like,
yeah,
ever?
I'm gonna eat Strombolis 10 years from now.
But anywho, so back to my original point. So he was, so example in the video, he was talking to the guy that he works with, who's like a real scrawny guy and like built some muscle and stuff, and it like started with like, well, like why, what's your motivation for training and like doing all this hard work to like make your body look different. It started off that like the guy was like real scrawny and like got made fun of in school and stuff because of that. So he wanted to like change that. And then just kept like drilling down like, okay, well now like how does that make you feel in this? And and he finally got to basically like his image in his head is like that a guy should be like more bigger and masculine, and he feels like he's not going to find someone to be with like in a relationship sense like the way he looked initially. So he sort of is afraid he's going to be alone forever, like if he didn't change about himself, basically. So they like really drilled down to it. So I was thinking about that for myself, and I have sort of an offshoot story of this, but I just really like so I didn't have this motivation when I started going to the gym. I really just wanted to be like less fat. And like wanted to be in better shape. And I also, when I really first started going like a few years ago, I was like in a pretty angry time in my life. So I was able to like take a lot of that out at the gym too. So I don't have that motivation anymore really. But for me now, the big thing is I feel like, and I've said it before, I hope for Sam that he's like, just like a man, like whatever he wants to do in life, that he's just like, manly, like that's I think what most guys want for their son, and I feel like I want to set the expectation for him that like because for me, like I wasn't ever around people that like talked about going to the gym or stuff like that, and I feel like I wish so I'm in my mid-30s now. Like, I feel like I should have been doing this for the last 15 years, like my body should already look different than it does now because I should have been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, and there are like, you could see MRIs, like tons of MRIs about like I'm just gonna speak for men.
Yeah.
Where men that like are in their 70s that worked out like even like a small amount, like 3 days a week, like did some light cardio, light weights, like three to 4 days a week, and like the muscle and like there's almost no atrophy, and like in their 70s, and like they can still move and they can walk, and then compared to like men in their 70s that don't that never really worked out, like they just did their job and sat on the couch,
Yeah.
or like walked around with their kids or whatever, and the atrophy in their muscles is just so substantial.
Yeah.
And then you look at the MRIs of their brain, like I've watched videos, I've done research on it and everything, where like the atrophy in the brain is like from the lack of blood flowing to like certain parts of your brain, like you can reduce a lot of mental things just by working out, because you're always flowing fresh oxygen to your brain, so a lot of those blood vessels don't close up.
Yeah, well, so that's the one aspect, is like you'd like to live like a longer, healthier life, like for everyone else in your life, but just like I guess for him, I want to set the example, like this is what men do, like you, like besides everything else you're supposed to do in life as a guy, like you should be physically fit, like you should be in shape, like you should be strong, like I feel like I like those traditionally like man things, like I want him to like grow up with that expectation for himself. I don't know. It's like even more so now, because so this thing now, I have a story about this. So he's always Spider-Man and I'm the Hulk. I have no idea why he picked that. I don't even particularly like the Hulk.
You're wearing green. Could be it. Do you wear green? Are you like the Blue Ranger? Like, do you wear green a lot?
I feel like I mean I do like green, so I wear like a decent amount, I guess. But like I don't really like the Hulk. I've never had any interest in him. But like now, for like a couple months now, like Sam's Spider-Man, you have to call him Spider-Man, and he only refers to me as Hulk.
Right.
So,
well, here's the thing. Like, maybe he thinks you're like big and strong.
Well, that's the thing. So the fact that he calls me that, then it makes me want to do it more.
Right. Like, I'd take Tony Stark like over the Hulk any day. Yeah. Like smart, charismatic, like good with the ladies, rich. Yeah. Like I'll take that over super strong any day. But
yeah, and he's always like, I don't know. Like every once in a while, I'll be like, Hulk, you're so angry, and I'm like, yeah, I know, thanks. Yeah. but yes, that's sort of my like motivation. Like I feel like I want to set a good example with that. I think that's I don't know, I think it's really important. I don't know. What's your like reason you think?
I think my motivations like change. Like some stick around. Like I think every motivation like I think of that I could think of, like they stay around. So my first motivation was going back to the gym. Like after like a year off, was like I was real depressed, real deep into it.
Yeah.
And so I started going back. Like people were like, "Why don't you just work out?" So I started working out.
Yeah.
And then like I feel that good. So when I feel like sad or something, like I'll go to the gym. Like I'll force myself to go to the gym, even if it's a bad workout. Like I feel good about myself. Like,
Robert Frank says, "Don't make a bad day worse by not going to the gym."
Right. And then like the next day, like if I was feeling bad, like I'll feel all sore, and I'll feel like I'm like, oh yeah, I did something. Like I feel like that soreness is positivity in my life. You like I know I did something. Like people think like, oh no, you get painful. Like no, that's a good soreness.
Yeah,
you know,
no, I
if you're
agree.
eating right. So it's like one of my motivations. Another motivation is like I like feeling solid.
Yeah.
Like I switched gyms recently and they have a pool, and like when you're in a pool, you could feel all your fat like coming off your body and everything. But like out of the pool, I feel like a solid dude. Like people hit me and like bounce off me.
Yeah.
You know, like just that like not having like those what's the swinging arms like an old lady or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that, and like I don't have like massive man boobs. Like I do have like a big old spare tire. Like I like that like accomplished feeling of that muscle soreness, and I like that like solidness that I feel. Like I feel good about it. So like when I get like a good workout or I go running or something like that, I feel really good about it.
Yeah. No, you were talking about the other day, and it was funny because exactly how I feel about it. You were saying about with like the man boobs that like essentially at this point you have muscle and then there's some man boob on top and like that's where I'm like 50-50.
Yeah,
So,
that's where I am 50-50. Like I get out of the gym or like now that I switch gyms, like I get out of the pool or I get done working out like I'm shirtless.
Yeah.
And like even though I'm like fat and I have a big chest.
Yeah.
And I like wide shoulders. Like I'm a big dude naturally.
Yeah.
Stocky, I guess. Like I see where the muscle is. Like I see that transformation. I feel good about it. And then like like I go to the gym and like I do the best I can. I know for a fact I'd have to change like 80% of what I eat. Like I'd have to I really have to try to get in good shape. So I'm okay with that. Like I'm never gonna have the best physique at the gym or like in the world. That's fine. And like. But I have the best physique out of my friends.
Yeah.
And I'm never going to do that. But the fact that I'm solid, or if someone's like, here, I need you to lift this, I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
And like I love chopping wood. I love doing it, right? And now I can chop wood one swing.
Nice.
One swing and explode. Like I'll never have a chainsaw because I'm afraid of them. Like, you know me. If I have a chainsaw, I'm cutting my arms off or my leg or some shit like that. So Rachel has this dilapidated shed, right?
Yeah.
And I took the front door and half of the left side of the shed out in 8 swings.
Nice.
She counted them. She's like, half the shed's gone. I only counted 8 swings. And this is with like an axe.
Yeah.
Right? The first swing took out, it's like a roton hinge, like a hinge all the way down.
Yeah.
Took out half that hinge.
Yeah.
Then the next swing took the door off, and then I chopped through 3 different 2x4s with one swing.
Yeah.
Like it exploded. And like I felt awesome about that. Like I felt awesome. Like and then there's guys out there like and I've heard stories where like they pee outside. They're like, it makes me feel like a man. Like peeing outside doesn't make me feel like a man. It makes me feel like a scumbag. I got a fucking toilet that I can pee into or urinal. Like I don't want to pee outside.
I'm pretty sure peeing outside makes Sam feel like a man. He loves it.
He's 3. Or like when you're in the woods, you just pee outside. That's one thing. My phone's going off.
Okay, I thought it was a computer. So now are we updating?
Yeah. So it doesn't like the fact that like just I knew that. Yeah. Just that I knew like I swung and I went like and I like took half a shed out on 8 swings.
Now
like,
all 6 of our listeners know too.
Yeah. Like the fact that I could do that, like I feel good.
If you have some demo in your future, get a foo bar.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like it's like a hammer, but it also has like a 2x4 size hook on the end.
Oh yeah.
So it's like just a solid piece of steel. It's
No,
pretty
I,
awesome.
I have like an $8 axe
Yeah.
with a fiberglass handle that I found in our shed. It's all rusted to shit and everything, but that thing goes through everything.
Yeah.
It's 3 pounds.
I have to find the when I was like basically demoing most of my house. When I first bought the house, there was just this old rusty like sledgehammer in the basement that I found. So I like demoed a lot of the house with the old sledgehammer from the house.
That you found in the house.
But I don't know I don't know where it is now. That makes me worried. I think it's somewhere in the basement, but I'm not 100% sure.
Well, that's like the best thing you could have because
Yeah.
like you swing around and like if you lift 3 pounds. Well, I mean, the whole thing's like 7 pounds because it's a big old axe handle and everything. But the head's 3 pounds.
Yeah.
And like 3 pounds, like I lift 3 pounds all day, every day.
Yeah.
When you swing that thing around, like at the tip of it, it's so much force.
Yeah.
You know, and you love it. Like, and then I have, it's actually not here anymore, but I've showed you the ball peen hammer I have.
Yeah.
It's 2.5 pounds.
Yeah.
That will go through anything.
Yeah.
A doorknob. I used it when I used to work in Camden. We used to change doors in abandoned buildings. So I used to like break off the doorknob and hit the deadbolt with it, and the deadbolt would like fly out. And so like 2.5 pounds isn't a lot, but you put that on a handle, and that's like another
science.
Motivation of me going to the gym.
So
I
knock
want to
through
be
doors.
I want to be stronger.
Yeah.
I want to be hilariously strong.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I don't know. Yeah, I was I don't know. I was saying so I feel like I was always because I didn't have any really gym role models or anything. So I kind of just initially just made up what the hell I was doing there. And I think, and it was I mean just going is the thing. Like whatever you do, like it's good.
Even a bad workout
is
better than anybody that's sitting on the couch.
Yeah. So I was definitely working out pretty inefficiently for like a year and a half. And then
if you're not sore the next day, then you're not working out.
I don't know if that's necessarily true, but I think you should be sore sometimes, depending on what you do.
Well, I mean, you don't have to get out of you don't have to hurt to get out of bed, but
you should feel something.
Yeah, you should feel something.
And then I started actually reading up on stuff. I was a little before. I started actually reading up on stuff, but then I don't know. I was still I think until pretty recently, and I'm sure I still am in some ways, over relying on like the different like exercise machines just because that's what I learned first. So I was comfortable with it. And then pretty recently, actually, I was at the gym, one I don't go to a lot, and it was just packed. Like it was the most crowded I've ever seen a gym. So. Any of the things I like routinely do were like taken up. So I just let me just find a bench. So I sat on a bench and I sat behind this giant Asian dude that was like 2 Asian dudes put together, and just did what he was doing for like 20 minutes. Yeah. And it was like pretty awesome. And now for a little while I've been doing the stuff I basically learned that day just watching this guy working out. So it's pretty fun. Although, so me doing.
Free weights are the best, dude.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, they're much better for you. It's like a little bit intimidating, like until you get to like you honestly have to get strong enough initially to even go do free weights.
Well, what's it called? Like I was telling you before, the new LA Fitness has all the hammer strength.
Yeah.
So you put the plates on the thing and you move all the weights or whatever.
That's cool.
It's not all the pulleys. The pulleys. Like the pulleys and the Smith machine and everything, that takes away a lot of your balance muscle and all that. Where like the free weights, even if the hammer strength with the free weights, whether it's just like on an axis or whatever, you have to use a lot more of your muscle.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a little intimidating when you first start going to the gym. And obviously, like I said, it took me like more than a year. Well, I mean, I guess just in my current, because I would gone for like a year and a half before, and then there was a little break in the middle. Because you feel like you have to feel like you look big enough to enter the free weight section, because it's all like big dudes in there. No one really gives a shit, but like you feel like you have to like pay a certain entry price and like pre-work before you can start working there.
See, here's the thing. I thought that the first time like I go like, oh, these guys are big, but then like I was explaining to Rachel, I'm like, look, don't give a fuck what people think, because they don't give a fuck what you think either.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like if people are looking at you, it's not it's not because they're like, oh, I wonder what they're gonna do. It's like they're
Yeah.
just looking at you because you're walking by.
Yeah.
And I've noticed something like there are like real jock gyms where like people are like, but like
Yeah.
LA Fitness, Giant Fitness, Planet Fitness, not really Planet Fitness because people don't really work out there that
Yeah.
much. Like that's a cardio gym basically, and they have some weights and everything. Usually when you're using free weights and someone comes up to you, they go, "Hey man, here's a better form." Like
Yeah.
they legit like want to help you so you
Yeah.
don't get hurt. So it's like most of the time like, and I'm not a super strong guy, but people go, "Hey man, can you spot me?" And I'm like, "Dude, that's like 350 pounds. Like, I can't possibly spot you, But I just go, "Yeah, no problem."
Just like hope it works out.
Good luck to you.
Yeah.
Like 3 or 4 weeks ago, some guy asked me to spot him. He had 445 plates on each side,
Jesus Christ.
and he was bench pressing.
Jesus
so
Christ.
what's that? 90,
Like just
180,
a fuck ton.
360 plus 45,
400 pounds,
405.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was a big dude. He's like, "You spot me?" I go, "Fuck no." He's like, "Well, why not?" I was like, "Dude, it's 400. Like, look at all this weight." And like, I tried to even like on rack it. I was like,
Yeah.
I can't even on rack it.
Yeah.
And like, some other guy came over. He's like, "You want me to spot you?" And I was like, "Yeah, could you spot him for me?" And he's like, "All right, cool, man." He's like, "Thanks for being honest." Like,
Yeah.
he wasn't like, "What are you, a pussy?" I was like, "No, I'm just being honest. Because that shit crushes your chest. You're dead."
Yeah.
I
don't know. Yeah, I officially the other dude walked in and be like, okay, how about we both spot him? We'll just I'll take this side, you take that side. Don't
we'll
worry
put
about
our
it.
arms under it. Like I always spot like I'll when I get Rachel to do like free weight like the squats with the bar or whatever,
Yeah.
I stand behind her and I hold it so she's like, I can't get it. I can get her weights.
Yeah.
Like if she starts lifting amounts I can't lift, I'll officially be in love.
Yeah.
Because you're so strong. But the cool thing about like working out, like her working out, and I hope she doesn't listen to us. Her working out is so her body's in better shape in case she wants to have a baby.
Yeah.
Which is like a good motivation.
Yeah.
But like when we first met, she could like lift her dog, which is 45 pounds. I'm like, that's it. And now she could deadlift like 135. Yeah. Like 2 plates. Oh, plus like 140. I made her do 140. She did 140 like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Which is like 100-pound improvement.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. That's only in like 5 months.
Yeah. No, it's cool when you see like so I go to the gym with JD maybe like I don't know how long it was. Like sometime between 3 and 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And we were doing just some different stuff, and then I was gonna he was encouraging like the dumbbell bench press stuff.
Yeah, dumbbell bench press, all
Yeah.
that like incline bench press, like all those free weights.
So I either had like 30, and this is, I mean, granted this is more towards the end of a workout. I had, it was like 30 or 35 pound like dumbbells, and I like couldn't bring them back to like do bench presses. And then yesterday, and I've started, but just worked up over the last couple of weeks, like doing the more free weights, and I was doing like 40s, like without much problem. Like I'm probably going to go up a little bit more today. So that's just it's over a few months. Like I feel substantially stronger. I don't know.
Right, like I can do have you ever seen anybody do thrusters?
No, what's that?
Thrusters is like you hold it, you hold the weights like down by your knee, like you squat down,
and
then you like come up out of your squat and like you curl them up towards your chest and then you squat all the way up and like it's like
like a squat, hammer, curl.
Yeah, it's
overhead lift.
Yeah, it's like a squat press but with like a curl and everything. Like I started doing those like it's like 20 pounds. Now I'm doing like it doesn't sound like a lot, but I'm doing 40-pound like in each arm. Like that's a lot. And then you do
that's a lot.
And I'll do 15, 14, 12, 10, 8 all the way down to 2. And then because like I start 15, 14, I'll do one more. That's your 16.
Yeah.
So like kind of tricks me. Like you do one and I'll do that. And I'll do like squat presses, which is like the thruster, but without like the hammer curl, like but like through the thing.
Yeah.
And like I'll do like a kettlebell like suitcase, it's like 55 pounds. You hold 2 55-pound kettlebells and like you squat.
Yeah.
And then like a squat row where you row it up as you squat, like a lot of squats, a lot of like upper body, like you just add and not add on.
Well, that's the other thing. So when you find, so it almost feels like when you like like it's almost like leveling up at the gym, like especially like something like that, like when you increase weight or whatever, it's like what I was thinking, like in like video game terms. That's what I, cause I'm always like, since I was a kid.
You level up your
Yeah,
stamina.
exactly.
Stamina. Then first it's strength, then it's stamina. Then like I guess charm.
But then but then
Like the charm's automatic. You're like, hey, can I get a drink? And you're like, over here.
but then so besides like the individual stats, and like every once in a while you like level up to a whole new exercise you couldn't do before, or you figure out like a new combination, like a superset that you really like doing. That's like finding like a combo that like you didn't know about before.
Yeah. Do you like ever do TRX?
What's that?
TRX is the rope where you do like you can do a whole bunch of moves with TRX.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's great. So I had Rachel doing like 3 different TRX exercises. She's like, that's tough. And I watched her the whole time. I'm like, we're not going to do that with momentum now. Like she would do it all with momentum.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want you to pause when you go back and then pause when you go up, so you're not doing momentum. Then I want. She did like 15. She's like, that was hard. It wasn't bad. And then like 7 in without using momentum. She's like, that's so terrible. And I was like, yeah, because you're using, it's all body weight, And I also think like a lot of body weight exercises.
Yeah.
Those are to me, like if you get good at mastering them,
Mm-hmm.
they're better than any weighted exercise.
Yeah. Well, I guess too. I mean, because you can do them anywhere too is a good thing. But
yeah, you could do them anywhere, and like you're using just your body weight, So you're not worried about balancing like weights in each side and everything. You're worried about balancing your weight, so it helps. What I believe is like coordination.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing like one leg TRX like squat rows,
Mm-hmm.
which is like a longer word than the actual exercise, you're balancing the one leg.
Yeah.
That you're only working out that one leg. Then you switch.
Yeah. So today, since we're here, I'll be going to the gym I go to in Cherry Hill, which means I'll do my 3 minutes of the rowing machine.
Rowing machine's the best.
Oh my God. I feel like I'm going to die. I can do about a minute at a time, and then I have to take a break, and I can do about 3 minutes total. And then there's a puddle underneath me.
What you do is
and my heart's at like 200 beats a minute.
You got to get 500 meters under 2 minutes.
So I set it. I usually set it. So I can probably do that because I set it to, I usually set it to 800 meters, and I do it in about 3 minutes.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Because I think mine, because when I go training or I do it by myself, like I always try to beat my own record. I think my PR is 500 meters in a minute and 47.
Yeah.
But I let go of the thing. I took the straps off and I rolled over and laid on the ground for like a minute.
No, yeah, I'm usually so I'm for the first half of the 500. I'm usually on pace for like I'm in the mid 140s. I usually probably in more like 150 ish. So, but yeah, that's like kills me. I don't know, but anywho, so is the gym talk. So I want to talk about video games for a minute. That's sort of was my segue before.
I think I know what you're going to talk about, and I think I can add something more in my realm, which is movies. But you can go ahead.
So
and music, so it all adds up.
I feel like my taste in video games is like your taste in music. So I mostly play indie games. If one dude working on it isn't an auteur, I'm probably haven't played it. And honestly, I just I don't know why. I kind of started a few years ago, but currently I just don't have a lot of time. So I don't play a lot of big AAA games because I don't have 40 hours of a game to play. Like I want to get the game experience in a couple hours.
And what exactly is the AAA game?
So AAA game would be like
a mainstream.
Yeah. If you've seen a TV commercial for like a AAA game,
big publisher.
It's a big publisher. If they spent like $100 million on it,
Bethesda, EA,
exactly,
that kind of stuff.
I guess the last ones I played, like games like Skyrim, like games like Mass Effect or AAA games, like the Call of Duty and like Battlefield games, like AAA games, like the God of War games, like AAA games, like any of those. I guess like the games like Madden would technically be.
So yeah, definitely Madden. So mainstream versus indie.
Exactly. So with indie games, they're on a much lower budget. It's usually a small team, sometimes a few people. So they're usually much shorter games. So you can either play the full game in a few hours, or so like all games you can play in one sitting basically, or games that have just a simple concept that are like have a lot of replayability, so you can play them for a couple hours, like get your fill of them, and you're pretty much done. They cost like a few dollars. Sometimes $20 is probably the most I would pay for like an indie game. Some of them are like $5. So like cost wise it's good, time wise they're good. And because they're not wowing you with like graphics or crazy stuff like that, there has to be a lot of thought into what the gameplay means. Like there's a lot of thought usually into the mechanics. Like it's like a lot of them aren't perfect, but there's something interesting either in the mechanics or in the story or something that you don't find other places. And some of these indie games like really take off. Like for some reason, Papers, Please is the one that really comes to mind, but I didn't really like the game that much. But
This comes to mind, but it sucked.
Yeah.
I want to say how bad mainstream is, but this indie one sucked.
Yeah.
So not every indie is going to be good.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of them, are by small and inexperienced teams, and a lot of them just like aren't that good. But the ones that are good are like really good and really give you what you want.
Yeah, but also to like just add to what you said about like small inexperienced teams, like they have to have their dues. Like they have to have it. They have to get their feedback from people like you. Like here's what I like, here's what I didn't like, so they can improve or change and everything. So I think them putting out like subpar games makes their next release better. Unless they have
once they get bankrupt.
Unless they have too much pride and they're like, oh no, our game is perfect.
Yeah.
If you're an artist, you have to realize you're never going to be perfect.
Yeah.
You can work the hard as you can, but you always have to take criticism.
Well, I've said it. I've said this quote before on this show. I have a T-shirt with it on from the Extra Credits guys. It's like I forget the exact quote now, honestly, but it's something like, basically like your ideas aren't sacred. Your ego can't need protecting. Like every failure is like a chance to get it right. And they always advocate for game designers that like as soon as you have a concept in your head or like something playable, even like on cards on a piece of paper, like you should show people to like get their feedback.
It's like it sounds almost like this indie podcast I know about. Yeah. We don't have a lot of I mean they don't have a lot of listeners, but like they enjoy doing it, and every week like they sound better.
Yeah, mole meat pasta.
Some rhymes like that.
But yeah, so anywho, so I'm used to playing sort of really contained, tight, like games where they try to put some meaning behind them.
Concise.
Yes. And then and ironically, I got this other game that I just played in the Humble Indie bundle. So the Humble bundle, if you guys don't know about it, is pretty awesome. So they made initially a few back in the day. It was basically they would pick a few games from a few different game studios, and they would let you pay whatever you wanted for them. And some of the money would go to the Humble Bundle people. Some of the money would go to the developer. Some of the money would go to charity. They were basically a charity fundraiser thing. So you could pay like $1 and get like 10 games to play, or you could pay more and you would get extra bonuses and stuff. So they now have a monthly bundle where it's just a monthly subscription fee. And like if you pay, and like the average is like $10. So if you pay like more than $10 a month, you get like the whole thing unlocked. Which I do, and then I forget about it for months, and then I'm like, oh shit, I have these 40 games I can play by the time I realize. So one of them that came in one of the bundles was Destiny 2. So it's by Bungie, the people who made Halo. It's probably the first AAA game I played in a while. And it's terrible. and like I'm honestly I'm probably gonna play it for a while longer. Like I just haven't played a game like this in a while.
What's the premise of it?
I don't know.
Can you compare it? Can you compare it to like another game? Like Halo.
So it's sort of like Halo. So it really reminds me of Phantasy Star Online, which was like an older like PlayStation era game, which honestly wasn't that interesting, but I played it for a long time. But yeah, it's made by the Halo team. It's a first person shooter. You like are fighting aliens or some shit. You're like a guardian or something. I don't know. But it's just, there's just so many lazy things that I just don't understand how in 2018 from a major studio that these things would happen. And they just bother me like as I'm playing the game. Like, So the biggest one that bothers me is, so there's a concept called negative possibility space. So the idea that with the stuff in your game, you set up certain expectations. So say like you had an area where there was like a big cliff or something, and then just by some quirks of geometry in your game, somebody figured out how to like jump up and you like get to the top of this cliff that they really weren't supposed to get to.
Oh, like I do in like Skyrim.
Yeah, exactly. So if you were a good developer, you would, in playtesting realize, oh, that is a weird thing here, and then like put something there to acknowledge the player's accomplishment. Like it could be some bullshit thing. It could be like a little note like, oh, what are you doing up here? It could be like really minor item or something. It doesn't have to be anything special or well thought. Just something that like you set up this negative possibility space, this expectation with the player, and then you delivered like, oh, that you delivered on their expectation basically.
And real quick, in
Yeah.
Skyrim, I
Yeah.
got to the top of a mountain.
Yeah.
And like I don't think, because it took like hours. Like I had to
Yeah.
find different ways around, and like it took forever. I mean, I jumped off and died and like
Yeah.
ended up somewhere else. But I found like one little crappy iron dagger,
That's it.
and I kept it
Yeah.
forever, and I kept like upgrading it.
Yeah.
And then like it was like the best dagger like
Yeah.
I could even find, but like
Yeah.
an iron shitty dagger.
Yeah, well, that was your reward basically. So, but like, so they saw there was something there that could be done, and they like, planned for it and rewarded the player for it. So I, so sort of offshoot of that is, so anyone that's an old school RPG player, like the old Final Fantasy games for me, you had this expectation that, so like if there were 3 paths, you obsessively tried to figure out what the right path was so you could take it last. Because you had to explore all the other things, because there was going to be a treasure chest or something in the other places that if you didn't go find them now, you were never going to be able to get back there and find them. So you had to do that. So the people my age that play those old RPG games, we still do that in every game we play. Destiny says fuck you to all the things I just talked about. So I started playing. I play like through a couple areas, and I'm like, and there's like all these little side branch paths and stuff, and I'm going down all of them, and 0% of the time was there anything there. So they set up all these negative possibility spaces, didn't fulfill on any of the promises. Like, I mean, for people my age, like I'm sure I'm not the only person that plays this way. Like I don't know, like I'm really curious if younger players play this way too. But there was just nothing there. And it just like really bothered me. Like, why did you bother to make all this stuff? Like, why wouldn't you just make a straight corridor then? Like, why did you make all this world if like most of it's dead ends and meaningless? Like,
Right.
like it just sets up
It's a time waster.
Yeah, it just sets up like a lie to the player basically.
You're like shit.
And like how hard would it have been to put like a random ammo pack like in like every 10th one or something, like
Or like a grenade or like a dead body.
like something even something like that would have built the essence, like the sort of that would add to the ambiance of the game, like that something happened in this corner,
Like a super powerful sniper rifle, like with 1 round.
yeah, like exactly, like something, like just something that either added to the lore, added to the atmosphere, added, just gave a player reward for because it's basically the players bothering to fully explore and experience your game, and you're saying, yeah, fuck you.
You know what'd be cool? I
Yeah.
just thought of this. If like you go down one of those, like it's not an official side quest, but there's like a guy like in a gated community, and he's like no one can catch me, and like there's no way in the gate, like there's no way, there's no door, there's no lock, you can't jump over the gate, but from like a certain hill you can see him, and like he's obviously a bad guy, and they're like, oh, we wish he was dead because he has all this good land.
Yeah.
And like throughout the game, like you come across this sniper rifle,
Yeah.
of like a really like one bullet, it's the only bullet in the game.
Yeah.
And like you pick it up and you have no idea, and like later in the game they're like, man, I wish that guy was dead, but no one can catch him.
Yeah.
And like you use that sniper rifle, you kill him, and like like you get like 25 XP.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, and
like it's just a completely random coincidence.
yeah, something that rewards your player for like really thinking about your game world. Like that's good game design versus like the Destiny stuff.
Yeah, it's like just to level up in like an RPG, you need like, say you need like 1,000,000 XP, and like
Yeah.
you get like 25 XP for that.
Yeah.
And like you have this useless rifle.
Yeah, at least they would reward you for something. So that's the first thing that bothers me. The second thing, so I self-identify as a Dark Souls player.
You
So
self-identify as a homo too.
So, well, I was gonna say the title of the episode should be Kevin self-identifies as a Dark Souls player. His pronouns are Hulk.
Well, in like the 70s, you'd be like Dark Soul.
Yeah,
You'd identify as a Dark Soul, and like people
Yeah.
like your dad would be like, you're gay.
yeah, but yeah. So you know, so to compare these two, Dark Souls, sets up a pact with the player that like all the game.
Dark Souls is a AAA game.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. I guess. Well, I mean, it definitely is now. I don't know if the original was.
Well, I mean, in like
Yeah.
it's a Japanese game.
Yeah.
It's a Japanese.
Yeah,
It's
true,
like a
true,
huge game.
Yeah, but yes, that might have been the last one I really played, and that's definitely the last one I played through to its entirety.
Dark Souls is a
So,
hard game.
Yeah, but that's the thing. But it's hard but fair, And they set up an expectation with with the players, and this is where there's a high level of respect for the players from the developer. That if you fully explore and appreciate their world and really immerse yourself and pay attention, the game's not nearly as hard. Like they tip you off to everything. You just have to be hyper vigilant and really pay attention. In Destiny, so the very first like area you're going through, I'm going and I get to a point. I'm like, there's definitely gonna be an ambush up there, and I'm like, okay, let me just sneak around and wait it out, and then I'll get playing as a Dark Souls player. So I'm like, I'm just gonna sneak around. I'm gonna wait it out, and then I'm gonna get a jump on. I want to ambush the ambush because that's what you would do in Dark Souls. And I wait, and nothing happens. And I wait, and nothing happens. And you have to just blindly walk into the ambush. The only way you can set it off, or the only way you can progress, is just to walk into it. You can't play around it. So again, like if you're a player that's trying to pay attention to the world the Destiny developers set up, fuck you. Yeah. Like you just need to stumble forward through it.
So, kind of like to relate something more in my life than video games would be like music. Like I listen to a lot of indie music, and a lot of these, like, and I listen and I try to like talk to, like, I'll listen with Rachel and everything. I'll explain like how I'm feeling about it. Yeah. Like I was listening to Michael Kiwanuka, which he's a young English black singer. Yeah. So he talks about he sings about living life as a black man, like in England, and like all like it's the same. People think it's better. It's the same for a black guy in England as it is here. Like apparently, that's what I get from it. Whatever. That's irrelevant to the thing. So I'm like talking about how like an emotional, like some of the music makes you feel, and like some other indie bands, like. But like I go watch these people, or I watch interviews with them and everything, and like they're not faking the funk. Like if they're not like if there was a life where music was outlawed, like playing music was outlawed, they kill themselves because I can't see them doing another job. Yeah. So with like this indie music where you like everything means something to them, like they write really good music, they write really good lyrics, and like you could feel the emotion of them coming through the thing. Yeah. And like, don't get me wrong, everybody who gets into music, well, not everybody, but everybody who wants like to make it big, like they're like, oh, music's my life, it's the only thing. But like, if you take any band in the last 20 years that's in like the top 20 pop songs, like probably less than 10% are still together. Yeah. Like you can name off like between like 2000 and 2008. Yeah. You can probably name 100 bands that made it to the top 40 on the pop charts. Yeah. And like they're like drug addicts, like half the band's dead. They don't tour anymore.
Or they played, they got their money and they walked away.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like a lot of these people I listen to, like I know for a fact I'm going to be 60 years old and they're still going to be putting out music. Just like a lot of these guys from the 70s, 60s and 70s, they're still putting out music because that's the only life they know. Where like there are a lot of bands, like mainstream bands, that just like, I guess they get their money, they walk away. Like look at Good Charlotte. Remember how big they were? Yeah. Where are they? Like Sum 41. Like where are they? They're huge.
Was Sum 41 that big?
Yeah, they were huge.
I guess. I don't
know. They were huge. And like I never liked them, but like there's a lot of these indie bands where like that some have already got but there's a lot of them or like just indie musicians, like they have like 6-7 albums out. You know what I mean? Like you feel like their soul is in their music.
It's kind of like people listen to Holy Costa.
Yeah, the soul is in our podcast. Yeah, So it's like that's
Just feel the Costa inside you.
So what you're saying is like that's like one of the few things I can relate to where like the quality is in indie music.
Yeah.
But some people are just like, oh, what's the shit you're listening to? And like they put on like Radio 104.5. Like, this is kind of shitty music too. You know?
Yeah, yeah, and it's not, it's maybe not as 100% polished. It hasn't gotten as big of like a workover sort of on the studio end to make like every note sound perfect.
Right.
It might not, it hasn't been market research to be what appeals to the most people. But it's like, it has some meaning behind it.
Right. Like one of my favorite bands is the Hold Steady, and then
Yeah.
their frontman Craig Finn like has solo albums too, but like a lot of his stuff does have like religious and like undertones to it, and like him growing up in bad neighborhoods and all this other shit, and he talks about like how. Like their first two albums, like guys, like he's like, there's a lot of Catholic like stuff like imagery in this, like, are you guys okay with that? They're like, yeah, because it comes like from your heart, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean, it's like what you're feeling, it's not, you're not faking the funk.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the thing, like it's on along the same size of indie games, like not everything's going to be good,
Yeah.
but they're going to go back and try. Like a lot of people, like when it's not good, they're just like, oh fine, I give up,
Yeah.
Like,
We would have given up 20 episodes ago if we went around people listening to our podcast. But
yeah. Best indie podcast.
Yeah. Best indie podcast in Mount Laurel in 2018.
Yeah. So the difference between that is like indie movies,
Yeah.
they're fucking awful.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of good ones. Like Get Out was like a pretty good indie movie, but like
Yeah, it was really
I
good.
try to watch some indie movies, like just they want to pour their heart and soul, but I need a better polished movie.
Well, I think movies like Get Out are sort of like, I guess what in the game industry you call like AA movies, like or like a AA game where there's like, there's some marketing, there's a team,
There's a
real
big
team.
studio, yeah.
Yeah, but it's just not like $100 million.
Yeah, they got $1 million, $2 million budget. But some movies that come out, you're like, oh my gosh, they made this. Like,
Yeah.
people like put my heart and soul into it. Yeah, but it kind of like still sucks.
Look up the movie Birdemic.
Yeah, Birdemic, Sharknado.
Yeah,
like-
well, Sharknado is awesome. The guy that made Birdemic had never made a movie before. He had never like been on a movie set before.
Yeah, well, the guy who made Birdemic thinks that there's a hybrid Mustang that gets 100 miles to the gallon.
Huh.
Yeah, do you remember that line?
I don't
I
know.
drive a Mustang. It's a hybrid. It gets 100 miles to the gallon. Yeah,
Interesting.
Birdemic is terrible. They green screen the characters when they could just have them in front of us. Like it's terrible.
The best of that movie that I remember, well, besides the clip art birds that you see that are clearly from like the old word clip art, is that like there would be scenes of two people talking, and they clearly only had one camera because they would like film the one. And then when they film the other person, there'd be like a whole different ambient background noise. And then they'd film the other one, and it'd be like a car driving by or something. But then they'd switch the other person, there'd be no car anymore.
Yeah, two great examples of indie movies that are like two of the best movies of all time. Like the top 100 list are Reservoir Dogs and Clerks.
Okay, yeah.
Like Clerks was made for like $26,000, and Reservoir Dogs was made for like 40,000 or 50,000 or some shit like that. I mean, after they went to Sundance, they got like major releases, but like those two are indie movies, and those guys like put their heart and soul into it.
Yeah.
So
The one difference in indie movies and indie games is like, so indie movies can be more like about a more niche topic or something, but they still have to be like a good movie. Indie games can be successful without really being a good game. So like Papers, Please, like that I was talking about.
Right.
Like there's some that just have a particular feeling or story or mechanic that's so interesting that they get like more mainstream attention.
Right.
And like Papers, Please is like pretty critically acclaimed as far as games go, but it's essentially a game where you are a border inspector and you check people's passports and see if you're going to let them into the country. And that's it. It's like a little like 2D like booth, and like papers come across your desk and you have to like look for authenticity.
sounds great.
So I mean, I played it for a little while. It wasn't my cup of tea, but but essentially they just took this little mechanic, and then they added in this like storyline over it, where essentially what would happen is, if you let people in that were like terrorists, and you like fucked up, like you would see like them like suicide bomb behind you and like kill lots of people or something.
Oh, that sounds terrible. That sounds like a lot of pressure.
Yeah,
I don't know if I could sleep at night like in real life.
Well, exactly. Or you get people, cross that like, their passports were clearly fishy, but they were like, trying to escape terrorists basically, and trying to get into the country and protect their families.
Like I know nothing. I know nothing about making games.
Yeah.
But I can tell you for a fact, making an indie movie is way easier than making an indie game.
Oh yeah, maybe.
I know a little bit about making movies.
Yeah.
But like I don't even like making an indie game.
Yeah.
Maybe because I'm not in the computer sciences.
Yeah.
I won't even know where to start.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, and that's what there's actually good like tutorials out there, like how to make like I've thought of the idea. So I don't know how to program at all, but I've like thought of the idea of like making like a card game or like a board game or something, just to say that like I'm a game developer, but I've had some ideas for that stuff, but it's really just the matter of just doing it.
I'd like to make a board game one day.
Yeah.
I mean, I played a lot of board games, and
Yeah.
I feel like I'd fail. Like that's something I feel like I would fail out and like give up instantly because like I've played a lot of bad board games.
Yeah. Well, sort of the idea is you have to think of like a new concept, but then you have to like you're saying, you have to like play test it from the beginning. Like that's the one advice I always see is like, basically as soon as you have a concept, be like, hey guys, let's try this out. And then like some people will be like, oh, this sucks. And you're like, okay, well, let me, oh shit, I just hit the thing. I'll be like, okay, let's go back to the beginning. Oh, it fixed itself.
Yeah.
All right, good.
It actually sounds good.
Yeah. I think it's better. But yeah, and just to like constantly play test and not, where I think people that want to develop games get hung up is they think like, oh, until I have this fully formed perfect game, like I'm not going to show anyone, and then like in the end, like the game's shit because like they didn't get feedback along the way. So I feel like I honestly take the advice I've gotten from years of watching Extra Credits and probably make a serviceable like on paper game. I don't know, that like would be like decent to play. It's just a matter of actually doing it at some
Luckily,
point.
half the people I know are good at computers, so.
Yeah.
Speaking of computers, so we have one of our main systems go down the other day, or like 6 months ago. Sorry, 2 months ago.
Part of the
Yeah.
a part of the whole week cost the mainframe.
No, at work.
Okay.
And they go like, "Why can't you just fix it?" And I go, "What? Like, why would I know? I wouldn't even know what. Like, my degree's in psychology.
Just turn it
like,
off and on.
Yeah.
If you could reason with it.
Yeah. Like, yeah. I'm like, I don't even know where to start. And the guy
Talk
goes,
about his mother.
Yeah, and he goes, "Well, I thought you were young, and young people knew a lot about computers." I was like, "I've never had any interest in computers."
He's like,
so.
that's ageist, sir.
Yeah. I was like, I don't. Oh, you never want to help out, and I was like, what? I was like, I don't even know where to start. Like, I don't know where to start. So why would you even ask me?
Yeah.
So
Fucking young people, man.
Yeah, because I'm young and I know computers. Like, nah, it doesn't work like that. That's like, it's like you're old. You know about Nazis. Like, all right. So that's it for this week's Whole Week Costa. So thanks for listening in.